Hey, dude. Sorry I'm late. I was chilling with my homies.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Late Night Take 3. We're talking about a TV show that I only watched for the first time this year in its entirety. We're talking about Boy and Girl Meets World, but before that, I've got a couple of great people here. I've got Jake. Jake, how's it going?
I am doing great. Thank you for having me as always. I very much love this show. Minor plug for my own thing. The reason I created the Tato 24-hour challenge was because, and I don't remember who I said this to, I said, I will beat you at Boy Meets World trivia. And then he said, no, you wouldn't. And I said, yes, I would. And then that was it. And that shouldn't have been it. So I said, I'm going to have a place where anyone can come and play anything. And I will do my best to help write it. So that's my spiel. Thank you.
But also here we've got Jordan Plays with Squirrels Anderson. Jordan, how's it going?
That's going good. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about Boy Meets World. I've seen the whole series through about 5 times, but it's been also about 5 years since I've watched it. But I watch a few of my favorite episodes from time to time. I do throw them on. So yeah, I'm excited.
And also, I've got a special guest all the way from the Cinefanatics. Got Robert Adams. Robert, how's it going?
Look, I know I'm in Texas, but I mean, all the way. Okay, I guess coming from New Zealand, it is a long distance there. And by that point, if I'm traveling from Texas to New Zealand, I would be the definition of Boy Meets World. So, nice throw there. I'm doing great. I love Boy Meets World. I am the absolute proper age to have watched this when it first aired on ABC, usually a part of the TGIF lineup on Friday nights. That was my religion, was Friday nights TGIF, Saturday nights were SNCC on Nickelodeon. So yeah, that was my ritual every weekend as soon as I'm out of school. Boy Meets World was easily like the center point of my TGIF lineup and everything I enjoyed watching as a teenager. So yeah, really love this show. Mixed feelings about the Girl Meets World, but I mean, obviously I'm no longer the demographic for that anymore. So,
but yeah, as Stardrew said, like for him, he only watches it for the cameos.
Yep, exactly.
Which those were probably the best episodes.
Yeah. But before we do get into the main topic of Boy Meets World, as I like to do on Late Night, we're going to talk about some movie news. There really hasn't been a lot of news dropping lately. There seems to be a lot of it, just because I don't know. But anyway, there's a box office, and the box office, as it stands, I think these are the estimated numbers at the moment, but it's what I've got to go on. Dune sort of came in first at 40.1 million. Then Halloween Kills was at 14.5 million. No Time to Die came in at 11.9 million. Venom, Let There Be Carnage came in at 9.1 million. And Ron's Gone Wrong came at 7.3 million. Jake, any thoughts on the box office?
Yeah, that sounds about correct to me. Those numbers are similar to what I ran before. Yeah, no, I expected Dune to be awesome. I'm happy Venom is holding on there. As nerd stuff is going on. Yeah, not too much to say other than that.
But Robert, any thoughts on the box office?
So this is speaking of nerds, this is a great time to be a nerd because all those people that were picked on like back in the 90s for like watching X-Men or playing Magic the Gathering. Well, I don't know about Magic the Gathering, but anyone who was treated as a nerd back then, yeah, they're making like millions right now. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, it's amazing how much nerd culture has like completely just dismissed all of the bullies in the past, and it's like, no, we run this world now.
And Jordan, any thoughts on the box office?
It makes sense to me, like pretty much kind of like in order of like release, kind of like how it goes, and I've seen everything but Dune. I haven't seen that. Oh, I haven't seen Ron's Not Wrong either. I don't know much about that. I've only seen like one trailer for it. I know it's an animated movie, but yeah, it all makes sense though. The kind of like the like order of the lineup. So yeah,
Dune was pretty good. I did see it. So
Nice. I'm glad it was good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm about the same. Like, for me, out of the movies in the American box office, only one of them is actually released in New Zealand. No Time Dies, the only one out of these I can see. I think Venom Let There Be Carnage is due to drop this week, but after the reviews, I don't know if I want to see it in theaters.
It wasn't too bad. It was all right.
It's okay. Yeah. You said you have Dune. Dune is the one that you have in New Zealand.
No Time to Die is the only one that released. We don't get Dune until December. We've got a whole
wow.
to
Wait,
wait.
December. Man.
And it's one of those ones I'm kind of dodging what I'm hearing about it as much as I can, because I kind of want to go in fresh and just not with all this expectations of it's this amazing thing that I've been.
Do you know anything about Dune?
No, like as I said I think it was I said in a comment to Michael K. Like, I had not heard of the book until this movie was released. I did not know there was another movie based on Dune that came out of the 80s. So I'll be going into this completely fresh.
My recommendation to anyone, especially if if being able to watch movies that have like a wide bit of like history to them, a lot of culture and stuff in that, go look up like at least like some of the terms, because there's like both this movie and the 84 original, the David Lynch one, both of those, they throw a lot of exposition at you right up front, and you got to basically hit the ground running. When they say the planet Arrakis, you have to know what Arrakis is from there on out. Like there's a lot of terms. So I know there's like some YouTube videos. I wish I created one, but didn't. That give like a good breakdown to like what this term means, what it is. That'll help your viewing so much. Like my brother knew nothing of Dune before. I had at least seen the 84 original before. And had I not seen the 84 original, I would have been just lost with this movie. I would just gone like, nope, can't keep up.
That's good to know. Yeah.
I mean, I will say as a small plug, this week's Gone with the Wind, when it drops on Take 3, they are going to be doing their review of Dune on that and what it means for the Oscars. So go check that out. But
cinematography.
but yeah, but we also had some trailers drop. We did have DC Fandom. We're not going to talk about all the trailers, but I think Robert's probably talked about most of them on the tagline last week. But I'm going to talk about some of them here too. But we got a sneak peek into the Flash movie, which actually is happening, for the looks of it. Got Catwoman Hunted is getting her own animated movie. We got a trailer for the Batman. Those are all at Fandom. And we also got a trailer for Uncharted. So I'm going to go to Robert first. Robert, what did you think of the trailers that sort of dropped this week?
I'm so far very well known for my hot take about the Batman. The trailers aren't impressing me yet. It's a rehash of what we've seen with them doing Batman. I was talking about this before. I want to see them do something closer to a live action version of the 90s animated series. You can still keep it dark, get that film noir look to it, make the villains like the colorful, like almost right off the comic book pages type, instead of like whatever this craziness they're doing with the Riddler in this movie, where he looks like he's probably like one of the Jigsaw accomplices. Like give me a good like actual translation of these characters. The stuff that they're doing with this, and then once again we're doing a year one Batman, so go figure. We can't move away from year one type of stories. Like I want to see something new. This isn't new except for our bats being the Batman. Yeah. Uncharted looked, I guess, kind of okay. I don't like the choice of the Led Zeppelin song in the trailer, but whatever. I don't play very many video games, so I don't have a point of reference as to was it Nathan Drake? I don't know who his character is, so I don't know if Tom Holland was a good or bad pick for it. I guess Mark Wahlberg is playing was it Sully from over on the
Sully.
Off the Rails, the Schmodown? Oh wait, no, not Sean Sullivan, but Sully. Okay, different
Yeah.
character.
Right.
Yeah. So again, I don't know who these characters are. I don't have any point of reference, but the movie looks kind of interesting. It looks like a different take, like on Indiana Jones, which will be nice to have since we're not going to have an Indiana Jones movie for like another 5 years now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, I thought I was alone with my hot take on the Batman trailers. But I'm happy to know that I'm not alone now. Yay! Because yeah, I mean, look, and the movies look good. I'm going to see it. I mean, it's like I'm going to try. I try to see all the movies that come out. Even though there's millions and millions of movies that come out every year now, but it's definitely one that I'm interested in. And yeah. But Jordan, what are your thoughts on the trailers?
Well, the Batman trailer looked very much like a teaser trailer. That we didn't really get much from it. Like we just got a few glimpses at some characters, and like that's really it. So I feel like before I really judge what my thoughts going into the movie, I kind of want to see more from it. But I'm glad though that they're not really giving away too much though. Like it might be a good thing to not really give us too much. We can just go in not really knowing much. That might end up being a good thing in the end. But yeah, I thought that it was fine. There wasn't really anything that really impressed me much. Most of what impresses me about it, I've already seen, like the look of the new Batmobile, or the look of of Catwoman. Like I've already seen glimpses of that. So, but then Uncharted, that's another one I thought was fine. I didn't think that it was great. I didn't think that it was really terrible either. But I will say that I'm a huge Uncharted fan. Uncharted is my favorite PlayStation game of all time. That game is just so much fun. I'm not really sure what to think about Tom Holland playing Nathan Drake, just because I actually like the little fan short that came out with a couple of years back, or like a year or two, that had Nathan Fillion, and that was freaking awesome. That was the Uncharted movie that I wanted to see. So and also seeing Mark Wahlberg, he's a weird fit for Sully. It just seems kind of weird. He didn't have the mustache that he normally has and some stuff like that. But then on Flash, it was fine too. We didn't really get to see it too much. I mean, I'm a little surprised that they're still going with the same actor to play Flash. I thought maybe they would switch it up, but pretty much my thoughts.
I mean, look, I don't want to dwell too much on this, but this is Warner Brothers. If they're keeping Amber around, I'm not too surprised they're keeping Ezra around.
Yeah, true.
no matter what circumstances behind each of them. But that being said, Jake, any thoughts on the trailers?
I will say Black Adam looked cool, but that's The Rock. He always looks cool. The Flash was fun. Batman fun for me. I'm super easy though, so I don't find much to gripe about. I'm excited for Bat-Pat. I have been excited for Bat-Pat since he was rumored. And then I'm excited for Bat Keaton to return as well. So both of those trailers were just okay, I'm good with this. And then Uncharted, I am on the same page. Pretty weird. The Nathan Fillion is awesome, as was previously mentioned. But I am also okay with Tom Holland. Again, I'm pretty easy to please. So those were all fun trailers for me.
Yeah, and I mean, and when it comes to Uncharted, I'm also a big Uncharted fan. I don't hate Tom Holland. I think the reason a lot of people but trying to be buttered about Tom Holland being Nathan Drake is because the one they want, Nathan Fillion, is not Nathan Drake. And I think personally that's where a lot of this disconnect is coming from. But what I expect is probably going to be an origin story, because I think over time maybe Sully will get the mustache later on. I think what looks like it's going to be a kind of a start of a franchise, hopefully, if it makes money. I think Tom Holland's a perfect choice because they will want Nathan Drake to sort of age up and keep on going, like what Harrison Ford is doing with Indiana Jones. So, and you don't really want to start too old, really. But that being said, the small amount of news that we had that dropped, we are getting History of the World Part 2 finally. There's a TV series coming out on Hulu. Mel Gibson is going to be starring in a John Wick prequel series, The Continental. Ryan Reynolds has announced he's going to take a sabbatical from making movies. There's a biopic in the works about Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne's relationship together. Hayden Christensen is coming back as Anakin in Ahsoka. And Ryan Gosling has been cast as Ken in Greta Gerwig's Barbie movie.
I think God cast him as Ken in real life. Like, he's got to do this in the movie too. Like, you watch Crazy Stupid Love and don't tell me that that's Ken trying to show the 40-year-old virgin how to be better at, like, talking to women.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you there. But,
I'm waiting for the gif that we all see of him.
Yeah. But Jordan, any thoughts on any of those news stories?
The one I'm most excited for is the History of the World Part 2. I think that's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that series. Yeah, and I'm super excited that there's going to be a series, because I mean that particular movie is kind of like tailor made for that. Like, I think it'll work better as a series. So yeah. And then let's see, what were the other ones? The Hayden Christensen news, that makes sense that he was coming back, but I mean, for Ahsoka, I mean that's sooner than I thought. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And then
Sky Guy and Snips back together.
Yeah. But what were the other ones? I'm like,
well, with Mel Gibson being in the Continental, the Aussie biopic.
Oh yeah. So the Aussie biopic sounds interesting. I mean, I definitely love a good biopic. Hopefully they do it justice for sure. And then, I mean, anything with the Continental, like, I'm excited because I'm a huge John Wick fan. Like, John Wick's in my top 10 movies, favorite movies of all time. I mean, as far as Mel Gibson, I mean, that's fine. I mean, any casting news, I mean, as long as they don't pick someone too far out of left field that just really doesn't fit. I mean, I think Mel Gibson's a pretty solid choice. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy for it. So.
Jake, what are your thoughts on some of these news?
Alrighty, so you went double Mel on us. Quite different Mels, may I say, for reasons. Mel Brooks, if Mel Brooks is involved in History of the World Part 2, I know it's going to be great, and he's still sharp as a tack from what I have heard, so that's fantastic. Mel Gibson in the Continental, also not mad at it. So it's kind of, yeah, those are two sides of a coin there, eh? Ryan Reynolds chilling, I guess. That's a thing. What else did we have?
The Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon biopic, and Hans Christensen coming back.
All right, Hayden coming back. I am excited for, like, as was mentioned by Robert, Sky Guy and Snips, should be awesome. And then Ozzy, rock on. Don't have much of an opinion on it just yet because I just heard about it, but I'm excited because that guy's cool. So,
yeah.
And Robert, any thoughts on any of these news stories?
I would be curious to see how the Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne like biopic would be. It's Sony and Polygram making it. So I know like Sharon's producing, I think their other daughter Amy, who we never saw on the TV show because she was like, screw this is dumb, y'all putting cameras in our lives. I think she's producing it as well.
And I think Jack's producing it as well.
Okay. So, I mean, they've got the family involved in it. So I'm guessing that they're going to try to be probably not very faithful to their actual lives, but at least the casting should be pretty good. Yeah, Mel Gibson in the Continental. I think that might be an interesting choice for that. I believe everything that Mel Gibson was like really like back in I guess like mid 2000s. I guess a lot of that's blown over, but like his character work, what he could bring to a show specifically about the Continental could be pretty interesting, especially if he's in the role of was it Winston's role in the Continental. If it's the same kind of role, that could be very, very interesting. Hayden Christensen back, I like that idea, especially because we haven't seen Hayden Christensen with what's her face as Ahsoka. Blanking on her name.
Rosario Dawson.
Rosario Dawson, yeah. Man, good thing this isn't Schmodown. Yeah, like the two of them together, that will be interesting to see on screen. I think Rosario Dawson's character or her portrayal of Ahsoka was extremely well liked, so it would be nice to see like a little bit more, and especially the interaction between the two of them as if they're like old friends who have known each other forever. So, yeah.
But yeah, for me, like I've kind of lost where I am. But anyway, but for me, History of the World Part 2 excites me because I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a show in the UK called Horrible Histories, in which is kind of based on the books and like parody of the history of the world, essentially. So I'm expecting that's probably going to be somewhat similar in what they're going for here. But this excites me because I did enjoy the first other movie that they did back in the 80s. I think it was the 80s, but that being said, it kind of gives me hope that maybe eventually we will get Spaceballs 2: Search for More Money.
Yes, that would be awesome. Please give it to me.
Yeah, I mean, the Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne biopic is one that when I saw it, it's a little bit weird that they chose to choose specifically their relationship to and that area of the life. But it's interesting. I have no idea who you're going to cast as Ozzy.
Do you need to see like Ozzy's life before that? I mean, it was playing shows, rock and roll, and drugs. I mean, just imagine it. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, like Hayden Christensen coming back as Anakin in Ahsoka. I'm that's kind of one that is kind of a given pretty much because I'm pretty sure they've confirmed that he is coming back for Obi-Wan. So anytime they can think of a way to actually use him more in any series, Ahsoka is probably one that makes sense. I'm more wondering on what that show's going to be like, because I kind of thought that show's going to take place after Rebels, so maybe they're utilizing flashbacks or Force ghosts, and that's how Hayden comes into it. But it's definitely good. And I mean, we talked about before, Ryan Gosling. I mean, obvious. And that's pretty much all there is to say about that. Is Ken. Because I mean, even Margot Robbie as Barbie is one that when that casting happens, like that's another one I thought that's kind of obvious. I mean, when you think about it, they do look similar.
Yep.
But with that being said, that's all the news that we do have. So we do get to go on to our main topic now. So I'm going to start with Jordan. What are some of your favorite episodes of Boy Meets World?
Well, my favorite one, which is kind of cool, I got to do a Zoom call that was a watch along with the actual cast. So you got to watch it and like hear them all do live commentary. But my favorite episode was the Halloween one, and then there was Sean. Like that episode is just awesome. They get into a lot of meta things. They get like there's some great like humor and like just really cool. Just like the way that the story plays out really well written, and they even have some lines like they killed Kenny. Like it's almost like a like South Park callback in that. So yeah, but yeah, and then also like of course you got to talk about the 2-part finale, because if you don't shed any tears in that, you literally don't have a soul, because like that gets me every single time, especially at the very end when Mr. Finney says I love you all, but he can't say it until everybody walks out. Like that just gets me every time. And then one of my other favorites, I was just watching that, I was surprised how emotional that still after all these years that kind of got me was the one where Topanga has to move to Pittsburgh. So and it's like it's a 2-part episode. So that one is another one of my favorites. And then just like I just love pretty much anything that like kind of is like the like test of like the friendship between Sean and Corey, or the relationship between Corey and Topanga. Because in my mind, for a TV show, I think Sean and Corey have the greatest friendship of all time ever put to the TV screen. Like, it's just like an incredible friendship, and the show, like, surprisingly, like, it like really holds up all the way from the 90s to today. Like, it holds up really well. So yeah, those are some of mine.
Robert, what are some of your favorite episodes of Boy Meets World?
Whew. We don't have enough time. I will, like, I mean, I could just run through, like, easily what are some of, like, my favorite moments. Like, a lot of stuff. Oh man, maybe I can't. The first kiss between Corey and Topanga, where he's left up against the locker, was hilarious. Oh yeah, they go to like the high school. They're having to deal with the bully Harley Kiner. They do the cross dressing where they dress up as women. Oh man, there's just, I can't.
There's so many.
There's so many good things.
I'm
about
already thinking of
this
some I forgot
series.
to mention.
Yeah, it's not going to be possible to mention everything. Of course, there's the stuff that's the good old standbys. Everyone's going to know. And I know we were going to do it at least at some point in this, so I'll go ahead and kick it off. The Eric Feeney. Yeah. That classic. God, Topanga proposing at high school graduation with the return of Minkus, and that was good. The whole thing with Corey getting stuck in the ski lodge with Lauren.
Yes, that's one I forgot to mention. Love that one.
Yeah. I will attest also the finale. I actually went to a TV convention here in Austin, Texas, where most of the cast was at that, and we rewatched the finale with them.
Oh, nice.
And that was awesome to be able to see that. So, yeah, a lot of good episodes. Just too much to...
But Jake, what are some of your favorite episodes?
Yeah, I will also go around the block on this one. Since we mentioned the cross-dressing episode, I have always said that if I ever were to do drag, my drag name would be Veronica Hunter. Even though Sean's name was Veronica Wozboyski.
Wozboyski, that's great.
Yeah, Wozboyski. Yeah.
But yeah, tons of great moments. Eric and Tommy, that
Yes.
whole arc is magical.
and
Jordan,
then the Girl
also
Meets World.
I'm
Yep.
gonna cry. That moment.
Yeah. When it comes back,
I'm already
The
getting
Girl Meets
misty,
World,
dude. Oh man, yeah, that one is great. So I'll just knock that one off my list because that was one thing I definitely wanted to talk about when Tommy comes back. And Girl Meets World is probably the best moment in Girl Meets World.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, easily.
But outside of this, of the seriousness, because Jordan and Robert mostly knock those ones out. Well, Sean joins a cult. That's a thing.
Oh yeah,
that's a pretty heavy episode. But
final Mr. Turner episode.
Bro.
Yeah.
So heavy. But my favorite stuff is the fun stuff. And like basically my favorite moment, my favorite episode is Eric trying to sneak attack Topanga after like Mankind shows up and beats up Eric and Chet. So the whole episode, Eric is trying to sneak attack Topanga. That's my favorite episode personally.
And yeah, for me, personally, just watching it for the first time, it's just one of those ones. I mean, I also realized that going into that, even I wasn't going to be able to name my favorite episode. I just love them all. But for me, I like some of the weirder and wackier ones they did, like the episode where they did the crossover with Sabrina, where they went back into the wartime 1940s with Salem and the Time Ball, and the random portal that they happened to have in their apartment, which took them into the film movie.
The Casablanca,
yeah. And it's one of those ones, like, even though I knew on that Topanga and Corey were going to end up together. Going through the series is like, even I've completely forgot about that. It's like, oh shit, are they really not going to get back together? It's like, but I mean, for me, the whole Pittsburgh run where Topanga turns up at Corey's house is
Yeah.
probably, in my opinion,
Big
more
moment.
emotional
Yeah.
than the whole Friends run. I got off the plane, but thing for me.
Yeah.
I thought that's kind of a lot better. And for me, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but we'll get into it now. But I actually really enjoyed Girl Meets World. I actually didn't think it was terrible because like, even though it was a different cast of characters, mostly, I think the storylines they did in there as well, it worked a lot, especially when some of them hit some of the similar. There was some similar story beats that they did in Girl Meets World that were similar to the stuff they did in Boy Meets World, but it was just a lot of fun. But Jake, what were your thoughts on Girl Meets World?
Robert has mentioned that it was not aimed at us at that point, but I did enjoy it. Maya is really cool. She's a pretty solid Sean type. Riley is an okay amalgamation of Corey and Topanga. But the best moments are when the Boy Meets World characters are there. Feeney marries Sean and Katie is fantastic. The first time Feeney shows up in the first episode is amazing.
Isn't it just
Anytime
a picture?
Feeney
It's a picture at a subway or whatever. It's not. He's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
even actually there. It's just the poster in the subway.
Exactly. Anytime Feeney
Yep.
shows up is awesome. Shovel when they go to dig up the time capsule is
Time capsule, yeah.
fantastic. Angela is great. Minkus is great when he comes into play, and we
Yep.
already touched on how amazing it is when we realize that TJ is Tommy, and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps over here thinking about it.
Yeah.
So a solid show. It's hard for me to care about the Lucas and
Farkle.
Farkle. I
Right.
dig Farkle. But the whole autism thing, geez, that one's awkward. I'll go ahead and bring that up. They tried to play it well, and they did not. Beyond that, it's an okay show. Obviously not aimed at me, and I had an okay time with it anyway, just because I love seeing what Corey and Topanga and friends are up to.
And Robert, I think you mentioned to me before that you aren't too familiar with Girl Meets World, but out of what you saw, what did you sort of?
So my main takeaway on it is it didn't push the envelope like Boy Meets World did. Boy Meets World had episodes like the cross-dressing one. They did the one where Corey and Sean get drunk. There was the episode where Sean is trying to hide Ariana Richards from Jurassic Park, trying to hide her because her father is abusing her, and Corey's like, "Oh, they're having sex, like awesome." Like, no, like Boy Meets World hit some very hard, like almost after school special like subjects that Girl Meets World never came close to addressing. I think out of the Girl Meets World episodes, I hadn't finished watching that series. But out of the episodes I saw, probably the closest one that I feel like really had like real like adult emotion feeling in it was the episode where Angela comes back and just wants to get Sean's opinion. Like that was like the most like closer to like forget the kids in this show. Let's talk about some real like adult thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Other than that, yeah, Girl Meets World is like super like light on anything heavy. Like the whole what was it? There was the one episode with what's her face? I think her name's like Debbie Ryan, where she runs like a secondhand dress
Demolition,
and she refuses to allow returns or whatever. Like that was as hard as you got with this. That no.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just didn't hit the envelopes quite as hard as it should have. It didn't do anything like really meaningful. It was just very playful and yeah.
But Jordan, what were your thoughts on Girl Meets World?
Well, I've probably seen about 90% of Girl Meets World, and I haven't really gotten around to seeing every single episode. I've seen all of season 1 and like most of season 2, but I was a little disappointed when it got canceled. I was kind of hoping for more, but you guys are right though. Like you watch the show to see all the cameos, all the former cast come back, and so like that's my main reason for watching it. Like probably like I like Maya a little more. Like she's a character that kind of like sticks with me because she's slightly a little edgier. I mean in a way, but and then also Farkle, like like your name's Farkle Minkus. I mean, come on, like that's just like a really off the wall name, but it's kind of cool seeing Minkus come back for that, and I do also like seeing Sean kind of be like a father figure to Maya in a sense, kind of. So I think that's pretty cool, and yeah, like I think that it was canceled too soon. I feel like that they could have given it another season, or what I was hoping for is like maybe like Netflix or like somewhere like some other streaming service might have been able
Like
to pick
Disney
it up.
Plus.
Yeah, and I know that it's probably more of a rights issue because I feel like if it went to Disney Plus, it probably still wouldn't be any edgier. So like I was hoping for like someone that could bring a little edge to it, but like we never really got that. So but it's fine. Like it's no Boy Meets World, but it's still a lot of fun though. Like I still really enjoyed it though. So
yeah, I mean it's definitely one of those shows which obviously had to be, because I mean I think if this was put onto NBC or ABC or whichever American channel Boy Meets World was on initially, then it probably would have been more edgy. But because it was a Disney Channel series, they had to sort of tone down some of that content for who they were aiming the series to. I mean, it's one of those ones, because unlike what Fuller House did, I think this is another one which I don't think they were aiming it at the original people who liked the original series. They just threw the cameos in because they were aiming it to try and get a new audience for it. But that being said, I was one of those ones that I did enjoy it. Like Ron Blanchard is just one of those, as Riley is one of those ones that I actually didn't realize I'd seen her in something before, but then I found out that she was in the Spy Kids for All the Time in the World. I was watching it the whole time thinking, she looks familiar. I'm going to look her up to find out what she was in. But she was in Spy Kids All the Time in the World and A Wrinkle in Time. So yeah. But
I would have liked it if we got more about like some of the other like I love what they did with Harley in this show, making him the janitor, but he's also a better person. He has a heart. He's no longer that bully. He's learned from his like being a dick ways. But at the same time, there was ones that we didn't get to see. Like honestly, what's Rachel doing? I want to see what Rachel McGuire's up to. Anyone got like any dibs?
I can tell you what, right?
Like, why can't we bring her on Disney Channel?
I think we all know what she's doing in real life, but on Disney, I don't know.
That's the joke.
From what I remember, I think they mentioned her in passing very quickly.
She wonder why quickly.
Yeah, but it's one of those ones because even and it's always so sad, like especially with a lot of the shows you love, especially when one of the cast members go and does something wrong. It's like, oh shit, they were in there because the other day I did a show in which we were talking about Smallville for the 10-year anniversary. It was like
let's talk about Alcimac.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I will defend real quick. I know you're making a good point, but I will defend that what Maitland Ward does is not necessarily wrong. It's just not in the Girl Meets World.
Yeah.
World.
Yeah, it's definitely not wrong at all.
she's not doing anything wrong. She's doing everything right. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's not fitting the Disney
had to be done.
profile, so to
Yeah.
speak.
That's all good.
Rachel. Rachel.
Yeah.
But one of those, we are going to talk about characters, but one of those things I like to do occasionally on this to have a little fun is, it's similar to a whole show that Jordan has on his show called Bracket Fights, but I like making a bracket. I put a bunch of the boy and girl meets real characters in there and made a randomized bracket.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to share it, and but with that,
Oh,
Here we go.
yep,
Well, we got a
start.
bunch of dudes on this stream that are in their 20s all the way up to like say 40s. Just want to skip ahead and just put the one person at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those ones. It's definitely interesting in how the randomization brings, because it's probably not going to be as hard as easy as it will be.
Yeah.
But the first matchup we've got here is Chet Hunter versus Eric Matthews. I'm going to start with Jake. Out of these two characters, which one is your favorite?
Oh man. So Robert got the inaugural Feeney call. I'm gonna do a brief Feeney.
I wasn't expecting only one. I was expecting like we're all gonna do it at some point. So.
All
Yeah, right.
So I'm gonna put on the dragon Feeney shades. I'm gonna say Eric Matthews. Even though Chet Hunter is very beloved, he is fantastic. It sucks that this is the first matchup of this hypothetical tournament. So I'm gonna go Eric.
Oh, there's definitely going to be some matchups later on, especially with how people got placed when I randomized this. But Robert, what are your thoughts?
Well, when there's a choice out there, I'm gonna spike my hair because I'm the good-looking guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Eric Matthews on that. Yep. Do you realize we're 42 minutes into the stream, and I've been holding that in this entire time?
And Jordan, what is your?
I started this. What the hell is that song that he sings?
Yeah. Yeah. But Chet Hunter, he is a cool character played by Blake Clark, so I like seeing him pop up. So like he's a great actor and a great person for the role. I think that he fits it very well. It's like the father of the son that grew up in a trailer park, and he's kind of sometimes there, sometimes not there for him. So like that's a really great dynamic. But you got to go with Eric. I mean, I got to go with my boy. Plays with squirrels. I mean, I got the name right there, so I got to go with that.
Yeah. I'm saying. Unfortunately, I do have to go with Eric on this. Look, we're going to talk more about Eric, but Chet is one of those characters that when he introduced, like, I did not like him at first, but then over time, like, especially as he kind of mellowed out against Sean and that, it's just one of those ones that unfortunately had to go up against Eric.
Oh, but when he died, though, oh
yeah, oh, that's sad. Yeah. And also, I want to give the shout out to the episode where Sean's dad is the janitor, and he's
that's
really
what I was going to call out. I'm with
his
you.
dad being the janitor. Yeah, that was definitely a solid episode.
That part where Sean's confronting him at the end is was it Sean takes the mop from him, and his dad's like, "You don't have to do this." He's like, "Yeah, you don't either."
Yeah,
like tears.
I'll give you all the feels. Yeah.
But next up we've got Farkle Minkus up against Lucas. Robert, which one do you want to go with?
Farkle. I connect with Farkle more personally than I do Lucas, that good-looking bastard. Give me the nerdy class clown guy. I like him. Farkle.
Jordan, what are your thoughts on Farkle versus Lucas?
Yeah, Lucas is just too good looking for his own good. So I mean, I'm probably not going to go with him. I'm going to go with Farkle, and also Farkle is like he's such a more likable character than the original Minkus, but it makes sense that they're related, but yeah, I gotta go with Farkle.
Yeah. I'm actually going to go Lucas just so it's not a complete shutout. But
Sure.
I mean I do like both of these characters. And that's one of those I was in watching it like I was watching the start of I think it was. But I remember when I was watching for the first time, watched the start of season 2. It's like I got halfway through, I was like, haven't seen Minkus at all. It's like he just disappears.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's just gone.
There's a couple of characters that do that. They did that to Morgan, and then there was that one episode, like just out of nowhere, like the new Morgan comes down. She's like, "I've been locked in my room this whole time. It was the longest time I've ever been." So funny, like hitting meta jokes like that were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sitcoms with the kid cast that did that. So, but
Roseanne,
yeah,
Becky and other Becky.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then they look in the Connors, they actually meet each other, like the two Beckys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they did that with Morgan and Girl Meets World because
Oh
there
yeah,
was the episode
right.
where Riley, I think it was the season finale, and I think Riley was pondering about whether she should move away. And
Topanga.
They had a big family meeting. And then both Morgans were there. As like they kind of tag team talking to Riley. Goes like, it's like
were they both playing Morgan, or were they playing two different characters?
No, they were both playing Morgan.
Yes,
Yeah,
man.
Because
cool.
there was an inside joke. I can't quite remember exactly what this.
Okay,
It was like
man.
sometimes
I have this.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but okay, so it's Topanga deciding on if she should take a new job. Everyone who cameos in Girl Meets World shows up. Turner is there, Feeney is there, Eric is there, both Morgans are there. So Eric walks by both Morgans, is like, "Hey Morgan," and he just high fives them both, and then that's it. That's the joke.
I think when I saw the cast live, I can't remember. I think they were both there, and it was weird because they did do a bit like on the stage with them, and they're like, "Hi, Morgan." Well, hi, Morgan. So both was it Lily and Lindsay?
Lily, Nixie, and Morgan Ridgway. Yes.
Yeah.
But Jake, what are your thoughts between Farkle and Lucas?
I actually do like the Lucas character quite a bit. The anger issues are an interesting take and probably as testy as they get. As we have mentioned, they don't kind of touch on a lot of things like that. And that's why Lucas was transferred. I am going to give my vote to Farkle in the end, though, because I do like him a touch more. But Lucas Fryer, not a bad character, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm actually really impressed by how well this scrolling thing is.
Yeah.
Like that's a long tunnel in there. Oh, here it comes again.
Yep. Here it comes.
But next up we've got Ava Morgenstern. Somebody.
Oh, good lord.
Do that. But up against Augie. Jordan, what are your thoughts about Ava, Patricia, and Augie?
Well, let's see. Remind me again. I'm trying to remember who the Ava character is. Is that
that's
their
the
daughter?
girl that
Right?
marries.
That's the next door neighbor.
Yeah, it's the next door neighbor one. That shows up with Augie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, probably. I mean, just because he did in the show a little more, and he's just the cute kid that's always just kind of hanging around. I got to go with Augie, probably. So.
Yeah, I'm going Augie too. Ava is a character that mellowed out for me near the end of Girl Meets World, but she just annoyed me a lot of times. But Jake, what are your thoughts between Ava and Augie?
This one's actually closer than I would think. Ava's annoying as shit, but she's meant to be annoying as shit.
She's meant to.
That's the point. But I'm gonna give it to young Augie on this one. Because I was also gonna throw him out there on when we were first talking about Girl Meets World as one of the better performers on the show. So Augie Matthews.
And Robert, which way are you leaning?
I mean, obviously, I'm gonna go Augie because fuck Ava, what an annoying ass character. Ugh, get her off
Almost
there.
forgot who she was.
But next up, we've got Mr. Feeney versus Amy.
Ooh.
And I'm going to start
Football.
off here. Obviously, I'm going Feeney. Look, Feeney's one of those characters that I've heard a lot about just because Matt Kearns, who couldn't be here today, really does love Boy Meets World. And I've heard a lot about Feeney specifically from him about this. But Jake, what are your thoughts about Feeney versus Amy?
Amy has a ton of great lines, but of course it's George Feeney, man.
Robert, what are your thoughts between Feeney and Amy?
Like, I'm actually kicking myself for doing it earlier and not now because, this would be the perfect time for a Feeney. Feeney. Oh, Feeney. Yeah, Feeney, easily. Feeney was it's really funny. Feeney is the teacher. Like, again, I was like the perfect age for this show. Feeney was the teacher that I didn't think I wanted, but I wish I had. But like, especially at that time, like when they were in middle school, I was in middle school. When they were in high school, I was in high school. Like, so seeing Feeney grow with them, just I wish I had a teacher like that. That was the epitome of teachers.
And Jordan, whereabouts are you leaning on this?
Yeah. You got to go with Feeney. 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 So, and like, he's just a wise old man.
Beat behind yours.
Yeah, right. Feeney. Yeah. But yeah, he's just a wise old man that I never thought that I would want someone like that in my life. But after seeing this series, I really wish I had someone like that in my life just to go and get this like sage wisdom from all the time. He always has like the perfect things to say for like every moment, even some good funny lines from time to time. And funny enough, I met Wilfredo at a convention that I went to, and I got a picture with him, and I asked him if he would do the Feeney. The thing is, there's a big line of people, and he's like, if I do it for you, I got to do it for like 100 people that are in line. So he's like, if you come get an autograph, I'll write it for you. I'm like, oh, like that's not the same. You got to do it, but
makes sense though.
But even so, yeah, like I totally understood.
He just needs to step out in front of everyone and do it, and then just go back to the. Yeah,
right. Just like get it out of the way, because surprisingly, he was supposed to do a panel. But I guess surprisingly, he has really bad social anxiety. I guess like for as outgoing as he is, he's like the main comic relief of the series. Like he canceled his panel for that reason. I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think it's one of those ones like while they may seem outgoing on a show, sometimes you don't know what is going on behind the scenes, so to speak.
Exactly.
But the next matchup we have is Joshua Matthews up against Stuart Minkus. Jake, which way are you going on this one?
Yeah, this is another one that's like slightly problematic in ways because fucking obviously we first meet Josh as a baby, literally, and like fuck, we want him to survive and shit. But then he's in college and tells a 14-year-old that he'll date her later. So okay, wait.
What show are y'all watching?
I think she might be 15. She might be 15.
15,
Like I think she's 15 at that point, maybe even 16. But he's in college. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to go Stuart Minkus, and we're going to not talk about Joshua Matthews. Even though I don't.
Robert, which way are you going for Stuart between Egg and Joshua?
I was at first like, who the fuck is Joshua Matthews?
Yeah.
No, I remember. He was Alan and Amy's baby that they had right at the end of Boy Meets World. And that being said, I don't remember Joshua Matthews that much. I do remember Stuart Minkus. I'm going to go with Minkus.
Jordan, which way are you going on this?
Well, yeah. When I was watching Girl Meets World, when they show Joshua, I'm just like, wait a minute, they just make up another sibling for Corey or something like that. But then I was like, oh, Joshua, the little baby, now he's all grown up. Okay, that makes sense. So, but I almost forgot that he was even a character. But Minkus is a fun character, but when Boy Meets World, he like kind of disappears. You don't see him for a while. Then he kind of come back for like an episode or two in the final season. But yeah, I'm still gonna go with Minkus. He's the more memorable character. So
Yeah, I think the way they explained Stuart disappearing, he was on the other side of the school that no one saw.
Hey,
There you
Mr.
go.
Turner.
Just like Morgan was upstairs, locked in their room.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna be right back, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the Matthews didn't have any more kids because they would just get locked and forgotten about somewhere. Probably with
Yes.
what's her face, Judy from Family Matters, also locked up in her
Yeah.
room and forgotten about.
Yeah, exactly what I was about to say. She went upstairs and she never came back. I'm like,
Never came down.
Okay.
Next up, this is more tougher than what I would think. You've got Harley Keener versus Mr. Turner. Get a start with Robert on this.
Yeah.
I mean, do you take into consideration how characters may have shown growth in Girl Meets World, or are we going to take these characters only at what we were given in Boy Meets World? Because if one way or the other, you're choosing one character or the other. I love the growth that Harley Kiner went through when they showed him again in Girl Meets World. But Mr. Turner was such a good character for so many seasons of that show. I will say, probably going back to the kid in me, the teenager in me, I would probably have to go Mr. Turner because I was not a big fan of bullies when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So, therefore, was not a big fan of, Harley Kiner either. But, again, I love his character change and growth in Girl Meets World.
But Jordan, which way are you going on this one?
Well, for Harley, it's kind of interesting how it's another character played by two different actors. Without an explanation, you just have one actor playing it, and then all of a sudden, one episode, it's somebody else playing it, and you're like, okay, sure, we'll just roll with it. So
it was Adam Scott showed up as Griffin or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
And so it was another bully, but it was not Harley. Harley was always the one dude.
Yeah,
I could have sworn that they had a different actor also for her. Or I've seen it on Google here.
There was one episode where Harley was played by someone completely different. That's right.
Yeah. It's in the episode "Wrong Side of the Tracks." I can't remember what that episode is exactly. But
yes, yeah. Where they all go to Sean's trailer park or whatever.
Yeah. But Mr. Turner though, I gotta go with Mr. Turner. He was just such an awesome character for so long, like you said, and he really liked the idea of him kind of being almost like a pseudo father figure for Sean for a little bit, and he just bailed him out of one thing after the next, and he was a great character. So yeah, I'll go Mr. Turner.
Yeah, this is one that while I did love the growth that Harley did make into Girl Meets World, because he even sort of helped them out at times and all that. I'm gonna go. I was always gonna go Mr. Turner, just for what he did, because essentially Sean in Girl Meets World played the same kind of role that Mr. Turner did. Sean was the one that often was looking after Maya a lot in that series, similar to what Mr. Turner was doing in this. And this is just one of those characters that that I just gravitated to when watching this. But Jake, which way are you going between Mr. Turner and Harley Keener?
Good question on this one. This one is, again, another close one, because you can think of great moments from both these characters, but ultimate, And Harley, okay, so Harley, I'll say Harley is better in Girl Meets World. Both of them do show up, but Harley is better and more, I mean, because he's more frequent. Mr. Turner only has a bit chunk. But I am going to give it to Mr. Turner because he does provide a shade more heart in those Girl Meet, like with Sean raising him and the accident and So, Mr. Turner.
Next up, we've finally got to him. We've got Corey Matthews up against Rachel.
All right. Rachel
McGuire.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah. Rachel McGuire. Maitland Ward is the actress.
Yeah.
I don't know why I know that off the top of my head. Like no reason at all.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I know that either.
I'm going to make this quick. Is there anyone not going for Corey?
No.
Easy.
Would you like to save some time?
Yeah, right.
Well, let's predict the future. The one that has Topanga in it, go ahead and just vote for Topanga also.
Yeah, right.
Rip Mr. Turner.
But next up, we've got Sean up against Alan. Anyone not going for Sean?
No.
Definitely not.
But
Yeah, if it's the three main, it's gonna come down to like the three main ones, and that's
probably
I mean, if I were a betting man, I'd guess we cut Corey before Sean, Feeney, and Topanga. Eric, if it comes down to like Eric versus Corey, we'll see what happens.
Well, we'll see what happens because we've got Sean up against his own wife, Katie, and Girl Meets the World.
Okay.
But again, anyone not going Sean?
No.
I barely know anything about Katie.
I like Katie. He's cool. But
Maya's mom,
not
right?
Sean Hunter.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one that he ends up?
Yes, it's his wife.
When Girl Meets World? Yeah. Okay.
This is going to be interesting because we've got Corey facing off Jack.
Okay.
Corey.
Jack.
I'm going to take a think on this
hard.
Yeah. Shoot.
But Jack was in Mrs. Doubtfire. Come on, guys.
All right. We got Topanga versus Mr. Turner.
Topanga. Come on.
Topanga.
Yeah, you gotta go Topanga, yeah.
Yeah.
I seriously thought about Jack versus Corey, though. I'm not sure where I'm at on that one, but we'll move past that later.
I mean,
I think three of us were still going to go Corey. So
exactly.
Even if you,
it doesn't matter. Carry it.
But next up, we've got the next person that's going to be slaughtered by Topanga, Angela versus Stuart. Jake, any thoughts on this one?
A close one. I'm going to give it to Angela.
Yeah.
Robert.
Angela had more of a personal connection to the other characters. So, yeah, Angela.
Jordan.
Yeah. Well, I got to go vote for Angela just because of my favorite episode. And then there was Sean for how many times that she screams, like a blood-curdling scream in that episode. Yeah.
In front of Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then called her out. She's like, no, like I'm the one that screams here, not you.
Jennifer Love Pfefferman.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. You got it. You know that had to be hard for the actress to do that. Like, wait, can Jennifer Love Hewitt not be on the set or anywhere in like this zip code while I do that?
Yeah, right.
I don't want to scream in front of her. Good thing Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't on set that day either.
Right. Yeah.
But next up, we've got Mr. Feeney up against Morgan. Anyone not going Feeney?
Which Morgan?
No.
I mean, I'm good to assume it's both.
Which one?
I'll drink to that.
Does that change?
It doesn't. But I didn't know if we were going to have like Morgan 1 and Morgan 2 on this. I'm trying to anticipate my outcome in my future of this bracket, and so I'm trying to be prepared here because I was a Boy Scout once and always be prepared.
I mean, in hindsight, I was almost going to do it because I was struggling for characters to put in, which is why some of these lesser ones that probably weren't going to to go that far. Next
Oh,
up, we've got
please tell me you got the mountain girl from the store that they worked at.
Lonnie.
Oh,
is the
yeah.
name you're looking
Lonnie, that's
for.
right. Yeah, because Lonnie's gonna score high.
I don't think I did put them in. I mean,
God
the
damn
way
it,
I did
Malcolm.
it is like, as if they were the main cast, or at least recurring enough in the series, is what I included. But anyway, we've got Maya Hart versus Augie. Robert.
I'd actually have to go Augie. I like his character that they did with him. Maya, I just don't. I like the second I saw Maya, I was like, okay, she's probably gonna be like someone who's interested in Sean. She'll just be a partner with Sean. Cool, got it. She'll be like the new Angela. So yeah, I think Augie's character was a little bit better. Maya was predictable.
Jordan, Maya or Augie?
I'm actually gonna go the other way. Like I actually really like Maya. She's like probably one of the new Girl Meets World cast, one of the most edgiest ones. Even if like it wasn't that much of an edge to her, there were times, and I like her, like how she's kind of drawn to Sean. And yeah, like Augie's just a cute kid that's just always kind of hanging around, having kind of one liner. She's like the Michelle Tanner from Full House, just around saying these cute little lines. So yeah.
I mean, the way I would say it is Augie was the one that is the new Morgan in Girl Meets World, essentially. But
Makes sense.
that being said, I liked Maya a lot. Like, just the chemistry between Maya and Riley, which we'll be getting to later, is just perfect. And I think you could tell that they were best friends, but especially like in the episode that they did in season 3, where they did World Meets Girl, which is essentially the behind the scenes thing showing behind the scenes of the show.
Okay.
But Jake, which way are you going on this one?
I will say that the Morgan character is kind of split into Ava Morgenstern, like she literally has it in her name, and Augie. Like the sweet Morgan is Augie, and the loud ass Morgan that we knew earlier is Ava. So like they put that one kid character into two, which I thought was fun. Kind of like the reverse of how like Digimon did it, where in season 2, like Davis was Ty and Matt put together. They kind of split them apart in a way. So that was cool.
Yeah.
But these are probably my 2 favorite new characters, or at least new kid characters that we got in this show. And Maya is 1 and Augie is 2. So I'm going to give it to Maya.
Oh, wait. Maya's the kid. I was thinking her mom for some reason.
Oh.
No, that's Katie.
Oh, yeah, no. Put that Augie one up at Maya.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I thought I forgot that Maya was the kid. Yeah.
I should have corrected you. When I heard you say, "Oh, yeah, Maya's going to end up with Shaw," I was like, "That's weird."
Yeah. Like that's a little odd. Yeah.
Like I thought you meant as his daughter, which happened.
Yeah.
But next up, we've got Riley up against Farkle. And Jordan, which way are you going on this one?
This one's kind of tough for me. Like I don't know. Like I kind of like both characters equal. I'd probably give the slight edge to Farkle. Like I really do like his character. So yeah, I'll go Farkle. But just by like a thin razor margin.
Yeah, I'm actually going the other way. Like, while I did enjoy Farkle in the series, for me, while like just throughout there, from the whole yay, that right, like you instantly knew whose daughter she was, because just about everything she was doing was really reminiscent of Corey. But Jake, which way are you going on this one?
Yeah, and again, conversely to the Augie Morgan thing, Riley really is Topanga and Corey, but like she has Corey's neuroses, which show up a bit more in the show than Topanga's sensibility. And Topanga didn't really develop that sensibility herself until later years, so maybe that's why we don't see it in Riley. as much. But I'm gonna go with Farkle Minkus because he is a better approximation of Stuart Minkus.
Yep.
And like I really like the arc his character takes from to like being ridiculously sexy because that's how fucking kids and all. I'm not calling kids sexy.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna end that one there.
Sure, yeah.
Which way are you going, Robert?
So I mean, y'all know what I was saying about Farkle and how I connect with him. So I mean, I feel like it's pretty much like no duh on that one. I'm gonna go with Riley because the show's called Girls Meets World. She's the girl that's meeting the world. You vote for the girl that meets the world.
Holy shit!
Like,
Yeah,
that's the whole
what a
point of the
concept.
show. It rests on her character. She better be the best character of that entire series.
But with that, we've got a
With the exception of
tie,
Topanga.
Yeah.
which means what I do with the ties is if they're seated higher, they are the ones that's going to go through, which means Riley is going to move on once I decide how I to do that.
Fair enough. I'm not mad about it. It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was a tight one.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not talking about kids being tight. Jesus Christ. Stop accusing me of all these things.
But anyway, we got Eric Matthews up against Smackle. Anyone not going Eric?
Eric.
No.
I will say Smackle is kind of cool, but Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember who Smackle was.
That's the one that started dating Farkle later in the series.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Eric.
But next up, we've got Eric versus Riley.
Okay.
I'm going to start on this one off. I'm going Eric. It's easy for me. It might be easy for everyone else. I don't know. Jake, which way are you going on Eric versus Riley?
I will also take the mayor of St. Town.
Yeah.
Jordan,
Yeah.
Robert, which way are you going?
My defense for why I was saying Riley in the last one isn't going to work here. I'm going to go with Eric.
Jordan, which way are you going?
Yeah, I gotta go, Eric. Like, especially like one of my favorite episodes for him is when Eric and Corey take the road trip. I think to Pittsburgh. I think that's where they're going. But it's a cool kind of like brothers bonding moment with a lot of pretty good humor and stuff involved. So yeah.
They stop at the diner, and then Eric decides he's going to stay there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's a good one.
Anyone going to go Mayor over Mr. Feeney?
No,
but
I feel like Maya deserves a shade more respect. So
Yeah.
salute Maya, farewell.
Yep, same here. I would agree with that. Like, I feel like she should move on, but I mean, it's Mr. Feeney. It's the voice of freaking Kit from Knight Rider. Come on, right?
I feel like my
Wayne
whole
Daniel.
thing about not knowing who Maya was a second ago really doesn't matter because no matter who it was, they were going to lose to Mr. Feeney. So
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually surprised they didn't make any Knight Rider jokes throughout Boy Meets World.
Yeah, right,
especially
they
when
should've.
you-
I think they did once.
There is one.
There is one.
Yeah.
Oh.
But man, you got to know Knight Rider catch it. Like it was very sly. I'm gonna have to look it up later because I don't remember. But I just remember, like, I think I didn't know it until later. But when I first saw the episode, I didn't catch it at all.
But anyone not
Ooh.
going to Panga, and not anyone not going to Panga.
Let's talk about this for a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Okay. Jake, Topanga or Angela?
I'm gonna go Topanga. Carry on.
Robert, Topanga or Angela?
Well, I mean, if we want to turn this into like a true debate and with like a whole like essay behind our reasoning and opinions, I'm still gonna go to Topanga.
I like Angela's lip gloss more.
Jordan,
Yeah,
Topanga
right.
or Angela?
Well, we're probably gonna go to Panga, but I do like have those moments where like I see the interaction with like Angela and Sean, and like some of them like Angela that bitch, like seriously, just be with Sean. Don't be stuck up, or don't be like all like into your own self or whatever. But at the same time, like I do like the character still. They're just small moments, but I got to go with Topanga, because also who didn't have a huge crush on Topanga? Like, I mean, come on, like, yeah, I got to go for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to go to Topanga as well. All right, we are going to have to talk about this one because we've got Corey versus Sean.
Oh
Why the
man,
hell is
Fuck
this?
everybody who takes
gotta-
Kelly Kapowski over Topanga Lawrence, by the way.
yeah, right, exactly.
So, Robert, Corey or
I-
Sean?
Don't want to answer this.
Yeah.
I need a drink.
Yeah.
Personality wise, I feel like I connected more with the character of Sean more than Corey, but this is where I'll bring back that same defense. You have to go Corey. He's the boy that's meeting the world. So I have to vote Corey. I'm sad to have to not vote for Sean, but like it's those two. You have to vote Corey. It's the whole show. It's not the Sean show. It's Corey's show.
Jordan, Corey, or Sean?
Yeah, this one's tough, man, because like I like Sean probably better than Ryder Strong as an actor, and like I think that like he just brings a lot more kind of angst and like heart and the different things to a lot of episodes. But then Corey's the one that makes me laugh more. He puts more of a smile on my face. I'm just always happy to see him, like just all the little kind of just one-liner kind of things. So it's tough, but I think by just another razor thin margin, I think I'm going to go Sean here. Like I just connected more with Sean just a little more.
But yeah, this is tough for me. But I mean, I'm gonna go with I've got to go with Corey.
Yeah.
Partly for the same reasons that Robert said, and partly I actually identify more with Corey over Sean, but it's definitely a 49-51 kind of deal here. But Jake, which way are you going?
Man, I've kind of ruined the phrase that it's a close one because I've said it in things that weren't actually this close.
You knew this was coming, Jake. This is
this
is a hell of your own making.
Yep, this is a my bad situation. Gosh, on a personal level, I grew up like I'm not gonna claim to have grown up like poor or anything. I had food and shit, but like I never like. But I was a little more on the Sean side of things than the Corey side of things on the personal thing. But like I was never as cool as Sean. So like I identify with both of these characters on different levels a lot. So by a straight hair, which I used to have, I'm gonna go with Shawnzy Hunter-Ellie.
I feel like if it was maybe Fred Savage over Ben Savage, maybe that, but I don't know.
Well, that guy was a total douche, and I was glad Corey knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah,
that was a good episode.
Actually,
too.
was yeah, another good episode.
And because of the randomizer, Sean's going on. Sean was randomized at 11 to the 11th seed.
Well, we know the randomizer was not a teenager during the mid to late 90s.
Yep.
I
see what's coming up.
About to get me.
Damn it.
Oh,
Why?
Oh boy.
man. This one's almost even harder for me than the last one.
I mean,
Could be.
the other
Why
bench.
did I agree to do the show?
Right?
Yeah, you have,
Well,
what's
you
coming
have
eventually?
better things
It's
to
a
do.
hell
I
of my
don't.
own making.
Yeah.
But Jordan, I'm going to start with you on this one.
Oh man, it's gonna start with me. Okay. Shoot. Either way, I'm not gonna feel totally 100% solid about my pick, but yeah, I think that I got to go with Sean. I mean, like I love Topanga too, but I mean, Sean just kind of resonates with me just a little more. So
Um, yeah, I mean, this is one that I do sadly have to go Sean over this. Like, I love Topanga, and like, she's one of those people from Bournemouth World. I wish has got more work, but she hasn't really done a lot since Boy and Girl Meets World.
now some very minor roles and some things, but that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, that stupid boat movie, whatever that was. Yeah, like college days.
Yeah,
2 or
college
something
days.
like-
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
dorm days too, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Sean was in an episode of Law and Order.
He was also in what's the Eli
Cabin
Roth
Fever.
Cabin Fever? Yeah.
Cabin
Yeah,
Fever, yeah.
Cabin Fever. Yeah.
But the first time I heard him say the fuck word, and I was like, "Ah, Sean's
Yeah.
cousin."
Yeah. How dare you?
I was like, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
So I wonder what Mr. Turner thought of that.
Yeah, right.
But,
He's saying it too.
Yeah.
But Jake, Topanga or Sean?
Oh man, like just they're both Corey's greatest loves, but I think we all know that ultimately Corey loves Sean more. So I'm gonna go with Sean. I'm gonna go with Shawnee again.
It's actually probably true. But in the end, though, he actually does pick Topanga over Sean. So
that is a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
And Robert, now that you've time to think about this, which way are you going?
Why do you need time to think about this? I was a teenager when the show was on. You know where my thoughts were. I'm going with Topanga. I was the perfect age to envision that. Oh, hi, Topanga. Yes, be my girlfriend.
Yep.
I was. Wow,
Exactly.
Good Lord, y'all. I understand there's an age difference here now, and this is the example of what. Of it.
Well, I mean, I think we've talked about this before. I think me and you are around the same age. I just never grew up with Boy Meets World. So I'm 35, 36.
Yes, please
Yep.
don't find teenage
You're
Topanga hot.
56.
Yeah, I'm 36.
Oh, I thought you said
36.
56. You said like 35 and 56. I was like, wait, what? Malcolm aged a hell of a lot during the stream.
But you look rather young, though. All right.
But anyway, next up, we've got another equally hard matchup: Feeney versus Eric. I'm going first on this one. Just partly because I initiated this pain on everyone, so I might as well go first.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that much hard for me, but like I'm going to go Feeney. But even though I do like Eric a lot, Feeney is one of those ones that definitely had a lot of the great moments in the show, and he's just one of those characters which had a lot of good advices as that mentorship role that I wish I had in school. But Jake, which way are you going, Feeney or Eric?
You know, this is the perfect Final Four. That was the Final Four, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact
This
that
is what we need to say it right here.
the fact that it ended up like Sean versus Topanga is perfect, and Eric and Feeney, because they're like the second best relationship on the show. Eric and Feeney. Well, I mean, so it's probably Corey and Sean, Corey and Topanga, Eric and Feeney. Those are, I think, the best three relationships on the show overall. Like Feeney takes Eric to the opera, and fucking Eric becomes something because of Feeney, and follows him to Jackson Hole.
Yeah, right. He follows him, like shows up there. Yeah.
Is the question the best character or the favorite character?
I mean, whichever way you want to go. I think I'm billing this as favorite. So,
all right, I'm gonna take Eric Matthews.
Robert, which way are you going?
I'm gonna have to go with Feeney.
Yep.
Feeney. Because
and
if
Jordan
Feeney
would say
didn't exist, then Eric would have no one to do that call to.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
I agree.
Feeney would be exactly the same without Eric. Yeah.
Jordan, which way are you going?
Yeah, surprisingly, I gotta go with Mr. Feeney, and also for the episode where the toilet paper his house with all the wet toilet paper, and you see how sad he looks after that.
Dude.
That he like sees all of that, like he had just been like totally betrayed by somebody, like that was the kind of a sad moment. So yeah, like
And then there's the bit with the taking the test and fucking like they go trash the school. And
Yeah.
Corey, Sean, and Topanga show up and help him. They like help him clean the
Yeah,
thing
they
into the
clean it up.
garbage can,
Oh, yeah.
dude.
It's a good moment.
But with that, the final matchup we have is Mr. Feeney versus Sean.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But Jake, which way are you going?
Take a second on this one. Mr. Feeney.
Robert, Mr. Feeney or Sean?
Oh, he went away.
I mean, it looked like he was frozen as well. But Jordan,
He couldn't decide. He's just like, I can't decide. I'm out. Peace. Yeah. But well, for me, that just all comes down to would I want to watch a show just about Mr. Feeney, or would I want to watch a show just about Sean? And the answer is Sean. Like Mr. Feeney wouldn't really be all that interesting as a show, but Sean really would. So I'm gonna go Sean.
Interesting take. I like it.
Yeah.
I agree with it.
Yeah, kind of makes sense.
So you're going with Sean.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Feeney on this.
So if he comes back, it could be a tie.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it here, and if he comes back, I'll ask him. But officially, Feeney's going to win.
All right. Fair enough.
And we've got a third place matchup.
Ooh.
Topanga or Eric?
Okay. First place matchup. All right.
Yes, this is for third place. These are the two
Third.
people who got knocked out.
Okay.
But I'm going to go Eric on this. Jake, Eric or Topanga?
I will take the good-looking guy, Eric.
Yep.
And Jordan?
Good-looking guy versus the good-looking girl. So I gotta, but I'm probably gonna go with Eric. I think.
The
Like
episode,
him a
the
little
bit where Eric convinces Topanga she's fat so he can steal her pizza.
Oh yeah.
And then Topanga spends the whole episode worrying about being fat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
okay.
terrible, but a hilarious. That's a bad product. I mean, it's not great, but it's a hilarious product of the 90s as opposed to like some of the not so funny parts of the 90s.
And also, Eric's fearless because when Jennifer Love Hewitt shows up, he just starts to just like macking on her, just going to town. I'm just like, wow, all right, that is a bold move.
Yeah.
But I have just got confirmation from Robert. He lost power, so he's probably not going to come back.
Oh, he lost power. Shoot.
It was a pleasure to meet you, sir. Farewell.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Robert said he actually might be back in a second. But
Okay.
Okay.
Solid.
Until then, I suggest you guys have a Keyblade duel.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We need to do that because we both got one.
I do
on
not
my
have
wall
a Keyblade. I
behind
am
me.
not
There it is.
destined at all. So
Yeah.
But anyway, But it's just one of those things because even when when I was watching the series, like seeing some actors that you had no idea were acting that far back, but like because we did mention Adam Scott earlier playing Griff, like he just popped up randomly, like he still looks the same as what he did in Parks and Rec. It's like,
Yeah, right.
Honestly, the
Sure.
the first time I saw him after Boy Meets World was in Step Brothers, and I'm like, God, I swear to fucking Christ, that guy looks familiar. Sorry if
Yeah.
I'm swearing too much or blaspheming, but
Mhm.
But yeah, for anyone just tuning in, Robert is hopefully said he might be back in a bit. But I don't have anything else planned actually. But Jake, any last thoughts on Boy Meets World?
I did write a couple down, and I know there's a billion that I'll be thinking about. They want you to take the roles.
They want you to.
That bit.
That's good,
Sergio and Nunzio. Oh, come with me as we drive on the wrong side of the road. Dom Irera fucking giving Topanga the haircut. Like shout out Dom Irera in that show.
Yep.
There's like a billion things I can think of, but I will save the time. I love that show. There's, like I said, there's so many things I'm gonna kick myself for not talking about, but this is not the 12-hour long Jake talks about Boy Meets World show. So thank you for having me, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcome back, Robert. But quick question: which way would have you gone between Feeney and Sean?
Is that who it came down to?
Yeah,
between Feeney and Sean.
No, yeah,
So
Feeney and Sean it came down to.
Yep. It's tough.
Fuck. You know what? I want my power to go out again. I don't want.
Yeah, right.
Just
this is exactly what I said. I was like, he's like, I can't.
Sorry, guys. I would actually choose. This didn't work.
Yeah.
There you go.
See you.
Damn. Oh. Damn, I am actually bouncing back and forth in my head.
Well, my argument came down to which one would you rather see a standalone series about? Would you rather see one about Mr. Feeney or one about Sean? That was kind of my logic. So
but Feeney was only good because of the students that he had that we followed.
A young Feeney show, though. That
young Feeney
work.
Yeah, right.
But who cares about him? Like when he go, there's a reason why in none of the Boy Meets World episodes we actually saw like Feeney hanging out at his house, having some tea, watching Knight Rider reruns.
I mean, we did see him prepare a dinner for his sister that Corey thought was about to be a date.
We saw that. That was about it. And then we saw the inside of his house.
Went to his lodge. And Sean lost.
We saw him go on some dates. Like he actually gets a girlfriend at one point, though. So,
which was his wife in real life,
Dean Lila Bolander. Yeah,
Bonnie Bartlett. Yeah, Bonnie Bartlett.
The other one
is his wife in real life.
As a young Feeney. I cannot think of anyone.
I can't think of anyone. No.
Who's that guy that's playing Ken in the Barbie movie?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Ryan Gosling as Feeney there. Like, yeah,
maybe so. Yeah.
I'll take Hiddleston as young Feeney.
Oh yeah. I forgot you do have to stick to the British route. Hiddleston as a young Feeney might be kind of interesting, especially if they turn this like into a movie that's like all kind. I actually want to see if I can splice together a video of this, like get like all the Tom Hiddleston like clips from trailers and movies and stuff, and edit this together and Feeney. Before the boy met the world.
Yeah, right.
Boy Meets World Feeney. I don't know. Just because Feeney was probably... see, here's the thing. I don't know. Who had more of an influence on Corey? His best friend or both of their teacher?
Yeah. It's true.
I'll have to go with Feeney because he was the one that was the teacher to both of them. none of them would be the characters who they are growing up through the series if it wasn't for Feeney. So yeah, Feeney, I would say, would win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a third place matchup because that's the way I set the bracket for some reason. Eric versus Topanga.
Oh, I'm still going with Topanga.
Yeah.
Teenage me didn't care about Eric that much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep this family friendly, y'all.
Oh, I mean,
Yes.
but it's one of those. But anyway, but Robert, did you have any sort of final things you want to say about Boy Meets World?
So Feeney won.
Feeney ultimately won anyway, because it was 2-1 as it was.
Okay,
Yeah.
good bracket then. Yeah,
Yeah.
it. I agree with that outcome. This was a phenomenal show. I think a lot of the stuff, the education that like you learn from this show, the stuff this show teaches you, for the most part, I feel like it's applicable like in anyone's life at any time. There's not so much heavy reliance on technology or anything to really place a date on this, except for like the aesthetics of the house and the schools and whatnot. So I feel like this is kind of like a timeless. It's a show that you could watch at any age and still understand and enjoy like what they're trying to teach you in this show. Girl Meets World, nostalgia. Pretty much that's that. I feel like that from my age at the point I was, that's all it meant to me. It was just nostalgia. It was nice to see these characters again and kind of like a nice, like quick, like how are they doing nowadays? I've always wondered. Otherwise, I don't care about the new kids that much at all. So
yeah, I mean, for me, that's how I felt about Fuller House that they did on Netflix. Same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
I grew up Full House. So watching Full House is like, it's fine. It's a good catch up, but it's not going to be anything amazing. But Jordan, do you have any final things to say about Boy Meets World?
Well, just kind of reiterating what I said before. Like I think that Corey and Sean is the best friendship ever put to a TV screen, and there's just so many awesome moments. Like the show has heart. The show has great comedy. And I also wanted to mention one of my other favorite episodes is the one where they have little Corey, like it's a chicken that's like running around the school, and he's like Corey running around chasing chickens all around the school. So that's always a fun episode. And then also too, just like some of the celebrity cameos too that you forget are in the show, like beyond Jennifer Love Hewitt, like you have Kerry Russell shows up, Brittany Murphy shows up in an episode. Linda Cardellini is the girl from like the ski lodge or whatever. So yeah, like, and also I used to have
Jake doesn't like Lauren.
Yeah. Well, and also there's a scene that has both Ben Savage and Fred Savage in it, and I used to have that for my background for my desktop for a long time. So yeah, but yeah, like it's a great show. Like it's something that like after doing this, it makes you kind of want to rewatch it for a sixth time. But I want to find someone, maybe like a friend or who hasn't seen it, and maybe rewatch it with a friend or family member, you know. So I might end up doing that. And also, I got to finish Girl Meets World. I had like 5 episodes that I dropped off right before that. So.
But that is going to bring us to the end of the show. I haven't decided if I'll do one next week because it is Halloween, so people do tend to do parties and stuff. So whether I can find people, it will probably be something high themed if I do something. But Jake, where can people follow you online?
The Facebook for the Tato 24-hour challenge, the YouTube for the Tato 24-hour challenge. As I said before, I will write any match for anyone and try to get it done as soon as possible. That's kind of my little shindig. And that is where I'm at. Thank you very much for having me, Malcolm. And love this show. Thank you. Sorry.
Jordan, where can people find you online?
Well, you can find me over on the Movie Hero Network doing our two main shows, tier ranker fights and tournament fights. And also earlier today, me and Austin finally got around to filming our Norm Macdonald tribute episode for we have a show that's called Live from Movie Hero, where we review classic episodes of SNL. So we did a whole Norm Macdonald tribute. So that's up there as of today. So that was a lot of fun to do. And then coming up Tuesday, we have our horror championship episode. We did an episode for every single decade from the 70s all the way to the 2010s. And so now we're going to pick the best horror movie of all time. So we got a stacked cast for that. We're gonna have Mark Edward Hoyk on there, Adam Collins, Andres Gallegos on there, Steve Mesa. So that's kind of our lineup for that one. But then just a couple of episodes we have coming up. We've been trying to put together best basketball movies of all time. We were going to do it Halloween weekend, but people seem to be pretty busy, so we may postpone that one just because people are just doing parties or whatever for Halloween. And then also we're going to be doing our IMDb top 64 movies of all time, and then also our best fictional restaurants of all time. And Chubby's will be on the list for best fictional restaurants for sure. So that's coming up. So
and Robert, where can people find you online?
Ooh, you can find me Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Robert Adams MLP. I am a part of the Cinefanatics, so youtube.com/Cinefanatics. You can find me over there, or you can find the Cinefanatics at Cinefanatics MLP, Twitter and Instagram. You can find both me and my brother, who make up the Cinefanatics, over on the First Class League of the Schmodown. That is twitch.tv/the Schmodown. We just had the Cinefanatics Civil War. It was a lot of fun to play. If you haven't seen it yet, go check that out now before you're having to wait a couple of weeks for it to pop up on YouTube. We also are doing the Marquee, where we're doing tier ranking through the month of October, tier ranking different horror movies. This coming weekend, Halloween night, we will be tier ranking the Halloween franchise from the original 78 movie all the way through the Halloween Kills that just recently came out. Joining us will be Tim Franco and Andres Gallego on there as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Check that out. I believe that is it. Wednesday night's our live show, the Tagline. So yeah, follow us all those places.
Andres is having a busy week.
He is, yeah.
That dude likes him some horror movies, as do I. So I mean,
yeah.
But you can find me on Take 3 Productions, where I host Rankum every Saturday. Just like everyone else, it seems, throughout the month of October, I've been doing rankings of the horror movies of the decades. And this one, we're taking the the movies that got the top 12 over the last, all the decade ones, and we're picking the top 12 all-time horror movies out of the ones that made the top 12. So if something didn't make any of the top 12s that they really love, they can't put it on the list.
Sorry.
But I do late night on Sundays, and you can find me over on Full Metal hosting trivia on Sundays and other times. But with that being said, until next time,
I love you all. Class dismissed.